Yeah, dude. So I went to the zoo the other day.
Yeah.
Right. They only had one animal on display.
Okay.
It was a Shih Tzu. Yo, what is going on, everybody? How we doing? Welcome into the podcast. Welcome into ADH Dad Season 2, Episode 3. My name is...
dumb.
Dude, I love it. That's a great joke. My name is Mitty80.
I'm Chief.
And, yeah, welcome in. Welcome back. Happy New Year to everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate or say, I guess.
I think everybody celebrates the New Year.
I don't know. Some people be weird like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Hope we're all doing well.
Hell yeah.
How was your
I'm
Christmas,
feeling
man?
great, man. You know what I'm doing?
What have you been up to, dude? Yeah.
Dude.
So we didn't record.
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta figure Christmas and New Year's is all 1 week.
Yeah.
Like with that, not only that, but I had family in town. I haven't seen my mom in like 2 years. I haven't seen my brother in like 2 years. And my mom. And then, so that was nice to see them. Plus, my wedding anniversary falls right in between there. It's on the 30th, and then New Year's Eve. You know, so I mean, like, it was just hard to coordinate anything to get together. You know.
Well, and we wanted to get together, but of course, my kids decided
To guess the
just
plague.
like on every holiday, we had COVID over Thanksgiving. We had it's Christmas. We had just a slight cough that spread through all 3 children, and we had to cancel Christmas, and then even on New Year's. Plan to bring the whole kids up, make up Christmas, and Jackson woke up with a fever, and I said, "Fuck you guys, I'm going." So I grabbed my daughter, and I came over for a little while.
I mean, you were kind of happy though that you didn't. Everyone didn't come over on Christmas though, because you were pretty mad about the gifts that we got, because you were like, "This gives us time now to."
Well, I mean, we had gotten gifts, and then we had made it very clear not to get gifts, and then.
Dude,
He got gifts.
I'm just a good friend, man. I see.
That's a bad
something.
friend. That's a bad friend who doesn't listen to his other friend.
It's a great friend, man. I got him a something he's been looking at for a while. He wanted a Serbian chef knife, you know.
Yes.
And I made it happen.
If you guys have ever seen the YouTube channel Amazon Kitchen, guy doesn't talk, just makes a fire in the woods and makes shit from scratch, and he always has a sick ass knife. It's like a giant half circle knife, and just unsheathes it all sexy like, and just starts slicing.
Yep.
Oh man, it sounds so
it's like ASMR. All you hear,
that's all
you hear
it
like
is.
the waterfall or the river running in the background,
Yep.
and he just and all you hear is the
Ladles
shing,
little.
shing,
Yep.
shing, and
It's
then
if you need to go to sleep to something, put that on. They're like 20 minutes a piece. He makes whatever you want, and it's a good kitchen video because you don't have to deal with all the talking or anything.
Absolutely.
And he literally tells you how to do it.
well, it was funny though, because I got you that knife, and like the day that it had come in, and I was excited, and I wrapped it. You cut your finger off.
Yeah, I cut not my whole finger, just a chunk. I cut the tip of my finger off. Pretty good. It was
Just the
pretty.
tip.
It was pretty decent. Yeah, that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, more of a pain in the thumb.
Well, yeah. No, I sliced it. I knew I did it immediately. Wouldn't stop bleeding. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I put Band-Aids on, pressure, and then this happened at like 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, well, I gotta go to work. Asked my wife, who's a nurse, like, hey, what do you think? She's like, well, it doesn't stop bleeding in like half hour. Then you should probably get it checked out or something. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I removed the Band-Aid, and once I took the pressure off, just started oozing again. I'm like, well, I gotta go to work. So capped it, put it on, went to work. It was fine. And then she calls me back, and she goes, well, I just called the hospital, and you haven't gotten a tetanus shot in like 15 years, so even though it's not a big deal, you should probably still go get that shot. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I left work, get over there. I called you, and I'm like, I got to go get my finger looked at. Just cut my finger. I got there at 10 o'clock, and I wasn't seen until 1 o'clock. And
dude,
the doctor, he came, he looked, he goes, oh, that's going to grow back just fine. We're like lizards like that. And I'm like, okay. And then then he looks at me, like, has all this stuff, brings all these like gauze and all these different wrapping implements and stuff. And he looks, he goes, nah, we don't need it. And he just half-assed wrapped this gauze on this thing. Horrible, like 2 times, and just goes, yeah. And then he's like, you just keep this. Gave me a whole roll of gauze tape. He's like, you just keep this. I'm like, okay. And then he just layered one on the top, didn't do anything. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing, man? And
Yeah,
then,
dude.
then the nurse came back. She goes, tetanus shot? Okay, which arm you want it in? And I'm like, I don't care. So she just goes, she sticks it in, pushes it in, and then she like puts the thing down, grabs a Band-Aid and looks and goes, I don't know. I think it was right here. And just guessed on where she gave me the shot. She ended up putting it like 2 inches lower than where it really was. And I'm just like losing my mind on what a just shit show this hospital visit was, where I waited 4.5 hours for a shot.
Dude, I should
It was ridiculous.
I should be a doctor in Prescott. Make the big voice. I
Probably
feel like I
good.
could be like,
this guy.
come here, son. What?
We're
You're
like lizards like that. Okay. I just would be like, like Piccolo? Yeah. Like you just regenerate limbs. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, what? Your arm hurts? All right, drop your pants.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
How's my finger feel?
Yeah.
The whole thing there? All right.
Because that's what it should feel like. Now you do yours. No, I'm just kidding.
But
yeah,
no.
so,
But yes, thank you for the gift.
So yeah,
it
no,
was,
I'm waiting for you to use it.
it was very unexpected.
I want you to use it though. I want you to tell me how it cuts.
I was upset.
And everything. But yeah, no. Then you went out and you were like, "That gives us 5 days, guys. He's telling his
Well,
wife
we had already
this.
gotten all your gifts,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, like, so we're going through all the gifts and stuff, and like the first gift we did have for Brienne was that candle.
Mhm.
Is it? It's from
I like that
Sephora.
candle.
It was from Sephora. It's an expensive candle.
Dude,
and I was like,
dude, price doesn't matter.
I know, but I was like, I was just looking at it like, I'm like, it's a $40 fucking candle. I'm like, I don't know why, but apparently this is really nice. Because I was like trying to think of things to do. But here's the thing. This is why I didn't share upstairs. So we were at the store, and I'm like looking for a gift for her, right? And I'm thinking she got Mel that like 12 days of like face masks and stuff, and like lotions and shit. And I'm like, all right, yeah, sounds good. So I'm in there looking for like face masks and all these things or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I get somebody, and I'm like, so I'm looking for like, do you have just like a face mask, like kit kind of thing, or like with like lotions and stuff or whatever? And the lady looks at me and she goes, well, who's it for? And I go, oh, it's my friend's wife. And she goes, how about a candle? And I was like, why? And she's like, I mean, that's a bit personal gift.
Like you don't know my
Personal
relationship.
gift. Yeah, and then I was like, what? I mean, I don't understand. And she's like, well, And then I started thinking. Then she gave me a complex about it, and I'm like, what am I saying? Like she has bad skin?
Or maybe
You know what I
she's
mean?
saying,
Like, oh, like you're starting to break out. Here's some masks to help you exfoliate better or something. And I'm like,
maybe she was
what the
thinking
fuck?
along the lines of like you're buying your buddy's wife this
yeah,
kind
or
of
that,
personal gift,
or
and
that.
you guys are kind of
Yeah. So I'm thinking like, all this stuff. I'm like, well, now I got a complex. I'm like, do I get her a fucking candle? And I'm like, all right, I guess I get her a candle. So I found this like giant, it's a big candle, and I'm like, all right, it's a nice candle. I guess it smells good.
It does
We'll
smell
go with
good.
the candle, and I got the candle. And then I like leave, and I'm like, this is like the stupidest gift ever. And then, then we get here, and you guys got her face mask, and I was like, see, I fucking knew it. That's a fine gift to get. So then I went back and I got some masks.
That's a fine gift.
I was so like
Dude.
the fucking person working at Sephora gave me some complex, like
That's-
maybe a candle. And I was like, I mean, I came here for like scents or lotions or scrubs or what, like just things girls use. That's all. I mean, and then like, I mean, if I came in to like Victoria's Secret and I was
and
like,
you're
hey,
like, hey, I'm shopping for my buddy's wife.
looking for a buddy's
Then
wife.
be
This is
like-
her measurements, and then they could go, how about some sweatpants?
Okay, why don't you get
Like
her
that
a
would make
candle?
more
Then
sense.
I could see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. They're like a
But-
candle. You're like, ooh, yeah, so we can drip it on each other later. Yeah, that sounds good. No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, she just missed the mark on that. And then like, but that was the bonus
That-
about like
that is
getting our gifts and then
hilarious.
being like, oh, fucking yeah. So we went and went and bought more masks. But I was just like,
Dude,
this is
that's
the stupidest
hilarious.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
God, she
Oh,
was such
man.
a fucking weirdo.
That's no.
But-
It was my wife was really mad because she was just like, yeah, it's cute that you know exactly what he wants, but you don't know what to get me. I'm like, yeah, you know why I know exactly what he wants? And she goes, how? And I was like, because he just fucking says, hey, I want that.
you.
Literally, we were in a chat and you were like, God, I want that knife. Boom.
Well, and
My-
you were like, get it. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna pay that much for
I'm
that.
like, okay. I'm like, cool. I know what someone's getting for Christmas. And I said it, and he was like, no. And then literally within 10 minutes, I think we had a few drinks, and within 10 minutes, I was like, yo, what was the name of that knife again?
And then I was like, I don't remember, and I fucking signed
And then
off.
Joe, just look at the YouTube description.
God.
So yeah, but yeah, no.
So
And then she gets mad because she's like, oh, you never know what to get me. I'm like, you've never just come out and said, I really want this.
Mhm.
I was like, ever, not once, not never. And I was just like, so. He did, and so I know, and so
Yeah.
you know, it's not that I don't listen to you. I just And the other thing too is like she's the one who's working, so if she wants something, she just gets it.
Well,
which
and-
makes it so much harder for me as a gift giver.
Well, and then even like when I went back, we got some masks, and then we got because you told her you got her foot massager thing, and then like the Snuggie blanket robe thingy, whatever. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, because I got Mel these
Oh, you said the
goggles,
goggles.
like massage goggles or
Mhm.
whatever. She absolutely loves them, falls asleep in them all the time. So then I was like, all right. So I'm like, well, what can we? Because it was I couldn't get that fast enough because I was gonna get her the same thing, and I was like, well, I can't get that fast enough. So. Well, and then we went to Target, and I was like, oh yeah, like something I actually wanted was it's like a
It like
sits on
hugs
you
you,
like a cape
and you
kind
can
of
like
thing, and
you,
then like
you buckle it here.
yeah, and it
Yep.
like massages and heats and all this stuff. And
See,
so,
I like the heating element of it, but
Mhm.
me personally, like it just kind of
yeah,
buzzes.
I
And
want
I
the-
need that. I need you
yes.
to get in there.
Mhm.
Like when I like I
need
get
to hurt a
some
little
really
bit.
bad like shoulder pain
Yep.
and stuff from like years of wrestling. Like it'll shoot, all the way up and down my back. And we have one of those massage guns, and I will sit there with myself
Yep.
and just, I mean, it gets.
You have to. You
I
have
need
to.
it. That's what I
need
need.
it.
I can't have the
Mhm.
the little like rubbing like she likes.
Yeah,
She's like,
it's-
oh, this is like
zzz,
perfect.
zzz.
Yeah, right. But she likes it, right?
You're
she
like,
likes
okay,
it. So
whatever.
so yeah, so she was all bundled up the other day. She had the blanket on that I
Yeah.
had underneath it. She had the little thing going with the zzz, and then she had her feet in the foot massage thing, and she's just like laying back like playing The Sims. I'm like, yeah, that's whatever. Hey,
hey.
you're comfy. That was your gift. You do, you do you.
Happy wife, happy life.
I'm
right?
just at 100%,
That's what they say.
That's not true.
But no, it was yeah. She beats me. No, it's but no, that was fun. Thank you for the gifts. I mean, it was a really good time. I'm glad we got to celebrate a little bit. But now it's like the first time I think Jack's been here since.
Yeah. So, it's
So
been
now
a
that we're
couple
all
weeks.
here today
Yep.
and we're having a good time. But
Yeah.
but no,
Getting ready for
we were talking
game.
about the New Year's.
the New Year's. Yes.
Did you make some New Year's resolutions?
I did. I do have a few. I was just wanted to see what you were like.
Go
I
ahead.
thought you were gonna be like, what the hell, like this guy. Yeah, dude, I do have a few New Year's resolutions. But before we get into that, we kind of made a resolution too for ourselves of like season of betterment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been sticking to
That
your
was our
plan,
last
you know?
episode. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, that was like 2 episodes ago, but then
Alright,
you know
2
what I'm saying.
episodes
So
ago.
I mean, like, have you been like kind of sticking to your thing, sticking to your guns?
Yeah. See, I like how you just totally displaced that over to me, or deflected.
Well,
or
no,
whatever you
I was
wanna
saying
say.
before
'Cause
we
I
get into
literally
the-
set it up for you to do it, but then you're like, "Hey, man, you go."
No,
I'll
I'm just
go,
saying,
that's
no,
fine.
I'm saying before we get into our
Okay.
resolutions, like, let's talk about like what
Alright.
have we been doing to better ourselves, right? Remember, because that's what we were
I've
going to
been
talk
abstinent for 3 days.
about. Proud of you, man.
Actually, it's been
Really
like 3
clears
hours.
the
It's not
mind.
even
It's-
been that far. No. So our big thing, like you said, the betterment. We wanted to, get in the gym. Just go for it. I think that was kind of our big thing. Is just go for it. We like to be supportive. I mean, trust me. We can talk about how much life can beat you down and all the things in
Oh,
life
yeah.
and struggles and stuff. It gets hard and whatever. But I think one thing that we definitely have the ability to do, and I think a lot of people do too, they just got to put a little bit more effort into it, is just look on the better side of things. And
Mhm.
just
Yes.
let's better ourselves. I mean, if you didn't do it yesterday, that's fine. You still have tomorrow. You still have today. You still
Mhm.
have you still have time to get in there. And like ours was big thing was we want to get in the gym. We
Mhm.
want to get in the gym, and I went 5 days this week. Definitely,
Hell yeah.
it was difficult. Like I mean, because you hit those walls. You hit that like I don't want to go today. This
Mhm.
sucks. No. I mean, the first 3 days I called you after I almost passed out in the gym. Because
Like, I hope I make it home.
Well, I mean, I was an athlete. You're an athlete, and like you just think of like you go back to how you
I
did
can
it
do
before.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing like with wrestling. The first
Yeah.
day of wrestling practice, I was like, "Oh, I got this." 6-minute match. I literally was like
Yeah.
tunnel vision,
You're like
black
a-
and white stars.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude,
you're
this
like
is.
driving home.
I don't know if I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I need to sit for a minute. Yeah, it was only one 6-minute match too. But I was thinking like when I was in high school, dude, I could wrestle an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like the full.
We'd practice for 2.5 hours.
Literally 2 hours,
Basketball.
hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, in college, 3-hour practices sometimes, and you just go.
Well, and you forget that, right? So then I'm in there and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do my warm up on the treadmill. I did 10 minutes on treadmill, got up to speed, got the heart rate up to 150, 145. I'm like, all right, I'm in that zone. Let's walk it off. Let's get in there. Did my foam rolling, got everything, and I would be like, maybe 2 movements in, 3 movements in. I'm just on my last set, and all of a sudden I'm just like. like fucking body starts to like almost eyes roll back and you're like, oh god, and then you just stand up like you just like partied all night, like you have no energy whatsoever, and like I'm trying to pound water. I'm like, I need like sugar, I need salt, I need anything to like bring me back, and so I just sit there and like, Okay. And I'd stand up and I'd walk a little bit. I'd get kind of lightheaded. And I'd have to sit on like another like thing. Okay. Just get to the bench so I can get my shoes on so I can go back to my car and get home. And like, yeah, I mean, the first 3 days were like that. And I called you right after. I'm like, dude, we got after it. You know, and I think that's the other thing too that kind of helps both of us, especially me, is in the morning. You know, typically one of us will text each other, just like, you know, all those TikTok videos are just like, hey man, you getting out there today? You gonna make today your bitch? You gonna get after it?
Hell yeah.
You know, so that's been really cool. But that's been a big thing that we've both been kind of after, and us as my wife and I have a lot more of like cooking all of our food, meal prepping. I did a lot of meal prepping last Sunday. I got to do that today too, but. Yeah, just getting everything in the fridge. It's all ready. Having the snacks ready. Everything that you could possibly think of like, where do I always fall off? And it's like potato chips, or you know, I don't have any like sugary snacks to just pick me up real quick. And so we try to find every facet so that if I need it, it's in the fridge. Boom, good to go.
No, that's awesome.
So
I've been.
yeah, what have you been doing? I know you've been in the
we've been lifting. It was nice because over Christmas break I actually went to wrestling practice and worked out every single day, right? Because my mom was just like, yeah, I'll watch the kids, like, because I'm like, are you cool with that? You know, I'm gonna go to practice. So I actually got like good cardio workouts in for like 2 weeks straight, and I was feeling great. You know, that was super awesome. So thanks, Mom. Shout out, Mom, for watching the kids. So
Mama T.
I really appreciate that. But yeah, just now that she's been gone, and that first day, I'm not gonna lie, the first day that like my brother was gone, my mom was gone. Brienne went back to work. Ollie didn't have school. Mavis had nothing. I just lounged. I was like, you know what? Yeah. Like, I need
But you need that, too.
And, like, I was like, there's nobody here to entertain. There's nothing. But other than, like, that day, I took, like, 2 days. I'm not going to lie. Like, 2 days. I was like, yeah.
Hey, man.
But, hey, after those 2 days of lounging, you know, we're getting back at it. We've been, you know, working out. We'll do, like, little sets here and there on my makeshift gym. And there I got a bench and dumbbells and weights and bars and stuff. So, just really been after it. We skipped wrestling practice, unfortunately, this week because I woke up and I just was like, God, I'm just like not feeling good. And I was like, I can't, because they're up at the Cheesehead tournament, which is in Kakua, I don't know, something in Wisconsin.
Kakana?
Sure.
Well, it's down by, yeah.
And well, I mean up and over, and I always say up, and dude, even if I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go up to Florida, and even though it's down, you know, I mean,
you're one of those retards.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, not.
No, but yeah, so I was just like, oh yeah, up here, even though it's like, oh no, it's down. But yeah, so they went there, and I was like, that's one of the biggest tournaments of the year, and I was like, I'm not about to go to practice and have someone get sick Friday morning, not be able to go. So I was like, I'm just gonna sit this one out. So yeah, I just kind of laid about. Also, dude, cut back on drinking. Dude, I haven't drank only on the weekends. It was like my only drinks. I only had a couple beers Friday. I had a couple beers Saturday, and then today, obviously, Cowboys play. I'm gonna have a couple beers, you know. And a drink while we do our podcast. But cut back on that, and then really have been like monitoring what we're eating. Like I'm making sure everything is like cooked at home, right? Like if I'm getting hungry, like instead of going and grabbing potato chips, like you said, or grabbing like a quick candy bar, or, you know, something, I protein it up, dude. I'm like, oh, let me grab a venison stick. Let me go grab a, you know what? Let me throw some eggs down real quick, you know? So I mean, like just looking at, you know, increasing that protein intake. You know, so that's been something that has been good. I think I'm down like 2 pounds.
I mean, I have to say that protein shit. Like when they tell you, hey,
you got to up the protein.
You got to up the protein, and it is. And trust me, like everybody's like, I can't eat that much, you know, because they want you to eat 0.8 to 1 per pound of body weight per gram of protein. So I mean, I'm 205 pounds. So for me, like 200 grams of protein is like, holy shit. I mean, that's a lot. Like a shake is 22, 25, right? So, I mean, it's like, okay, that's 8 shakes a day, or, you know, the chicken and stuff. Like, but every meal or everything you eat is roughly 20 to 35 if you're looking at it. So, but you still need to eat, you know, 6 to 8 of those things. You're like, God, this sucks.
The crazy thing is, like, yeah, but, like, if you do increase that, like, protein, you're not getting hungry for all the other stuff. You know, you're not getting hungry. It fills you up. You know, so I think that's a big thing. Like, it's true, 100% true, you know. So, yeah, I've been just, like I said, up in the protein. Like, if I'm feeling hungry, I will look in the fridge and be like, okay, like, what do we got that, you know?
Well, in my point, I'm sorry, I kind of spaced on the point. One thing, it was really hard the first couple days. It was very hard to, like, you felt full, felt kind of, like, uncomfortable. But, like, yesterday, or, like, Friday or yesterday, I mean, we went out to eat for sushi and ramen and stuff, and, I mean, dude, you'd have thought, like, well, even I got here today. I mean, I had a protein shake and stuff this morning and all this stuff, but I got here, I'm like, dude, I gotta eat, and like now you just crave it, and it's just like now it's getting easier, and I don't bloat, and I don't feel like kind of a piece of shit. So like that's kind of nice. That's exciting. Like yesterday, I ate all that stuff, and I felt great. I didn't want to go home and take a nap, and so we got back, we got some shit done. It was actually a lot of it's better. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Just eating better, lifting,
that's
getting better sleep.
That's kind of what I've been focusing on, though, is like mainly the eating portion. Obviously, like, yes, we're working out and stuff, but the food portion, what you intake is huge. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on. But, so that's kind of how I've, just been bettering myself, trying to stick to my schedules and, lay them out. I feel I've seen or noticed that writing the stuff down and knowing that, like, okay, I got this, my ADHD brain doesn't take, this task and shelf it. And then like 3 days later, I'm like, piss, we forgot to,
the list. Oh yeah.
So that definitely helps. And then just seeing like what I got to do, versus like, oh, well, I know I got to do this, but it's not a priority. Like,
well, one thing for me, having that same thing, that why it never worked for me was having like, when it's all laid out like that, I really don't like that. Because then it's like, what's the point of life if like every second of your day is planned out? But now I'm like, no, I need that. I 100% need that.
And it's not even that it's planning it out. It's more like writing it down to be like, okay, like today, like, and it's not something like at 7:10 we will do this at 7:15.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for me, that's what I've had to do all week.
Oh.
It's like I've had to space time and be like, okay, if I go work out, then that's an hour and a half that I have.
Yep.
Like by the time I'm showering stuff, then I'm at this time making dinners. It's like rough time. So then I don't go home and just drink.
That's how I would do. You ever play that game Farmville? Dude, I like lived my life around it because it'd be like, okay, in 2 hours, strawberries will be ready. So if I plant my strawberries now, and like, so that's kind of like what it is, right? Like I have to be back, let's see, because they'll spoil in 3 hours or whatever it was, in 4. And so like, okay, the corn is 8 hours. So I'm set on corn if I go to bed, if I, so like, it was like you planned your whole.
Well, I love that you just referenced the video game because this is what I told Mel. And this is like a little epiphany that I had that works for my brain. It doesn't. I can't say it works for everybody, but like I like, like Farmville or like Stardew Valley or something like that. Whatever. You have certain things to get done daily, and sometimes you're just done for the day, and you got to go to bed and whatever. Yeah. So like when you get into it a lot more, I love that you referenced the game because I told Mel, I said, listen, because she was like, you're really gonna stick to this, huh? Like plan all this stuff. I go, listen, if I can make life a game, then I'll be excited to play. But if it's not a game, that's
a quote and a half. Hold up, before we go any further. If I can make life a game, then I'd
be happy to play.
I'd be excited.
Happy or excited to play, yeah,
dude.
And that's where I was like, oh, life's a game. Like, okay, like how much I gotta get this in today. So how am I gonna get this in? And like, how can you do it? Can you be creative with your time? And like at my work, I got a little downtime, and I sit on a computer all day. So like budgeting, financial things, planning. A big plan for us this year is we're saving all year, and then in 2025 we're gonna build our house. So that's kind of what we're gonna get set up this year, and like we want to pay off a bunch of debt and stuff. So like I spend most of the time like looking at financial stuff, getting that stuff rolling. I get planning out my day, planning out my workout. What are we doing this week? And like how can we save more money and stuff. And like I said, most people do this. Most normal people can just do this, and that's what they were told, and they just get it done.
Right.
But for me that have just slacked for however many years,
right.
Like I said, I make life a game.
Excited to play.
Excited to play,
I
man.
love that, dude.
Excited
that's awesome. Hey, that quote's got to go on a shirt.
Dude, I'll put it on
right next to the day one.
Heck yeah.
Or one day.
Oh, dude.
Day one day. Make life a game. Then you'll be excited.
I know I didn't come up with that one, but that was, and like I said, maybe somebody already said it, but that's, once I came to that, I literally stopped and looked at Mel. I was like, that's a, I like that mantra right there.
Dude, that's mantra. Good. I do like that.
And she's, she just eye rolls. So talking to myself all day.
Right.
You just wait till I come here and talk with you.
Yeah, there we go. I get you.
But no, that's what we've been doing. So like, it'd be nice to hear from you guys. Like, what are you guys doing to like better yourselves this year?
Are you guys sticking to your kind of plans and stuff?
I mean, and it could be anything. It doesn't have
literally
to be
anything, like you said, like budgeting, finance. It's not working out. It's not. How are you going to better yourself? What are you learning? What skill are you taking on? What anything. It could be anything. Like bettering yourself doesn't only mean lifting or getting in shape.
Well, and my dad, he's always he's been a little bit overweight and stuff like that, but like he never wants to go hungry again. He had a pretty pretty poor upbringing and stuff, but. I work out and things, he makes comments about diets. Like, I'm never going on a diet. And so I'm like, listen, if you're eating 3 plates, just eat 2.
Right.
Just put that best foot forward. If you go shopping, park a little farther away, just pick the little things that like hey, do you need breakfast right now, or could you wait another hour?
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you have to get the second order of this, or could you just get this instead? It's not changing a diet. I'm not saying you got to go keto, all
you're
this stuff. Just do less.
quitting cold turkey,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There's none of that.
And see, I was doing that too. Like I said, coming back to like the portions we'll go out to eat, because we went to like Z's Diner. I love that place. It's like old school, like 50s kind of style diner and stuff. And I ordered what I normally order, and then I ate. But then I was like, ooh, I'm full. But I could eat it. I could definitely eat it, because you hit that point where you're like, well, like I'm good now, but like if I eat this, I know I'm gonna be tired in 15 minutes, right? So I'm like, we'll take it home, you know.
Well,
so it's just cutting it back a little bit, and I'll eat it later. Like I'll eat it.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
But
But just knowing it's okay to eat, because I
Yes.
think we both grew up in the Clean Plate Club era.
Oh, 100%.
And our parents did too. So it's one of those like, you know, and like we're doing that with my kids, but at the same time, I mean, we want to make sure they're getting enough food in them, but I don't really want to instill that clean plate stuff, because like for me, like I'll still do it. Like if I'm full at a half plate, I'm gonna breathe or do whatever I need to do to finish that plate, and I don't need to. And it's like it's programmed in my brain already to do that.
I'm 100% like I don't want to waste.
And like
food.
you said, no,
I
just
don't
bring it
waste
home.
food.
Small container, heat it up later.
See, and I'm
Eat
one
it
of
in
those
an
like
hour.
I don't want to waste food, right? So if I was like I'm full, then I'm like, come on, dude, you got a couple bites left. I'm full. Well, then I'll eat it, right? And then I'll eat Mavis's, and then I'll, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just
That's
like,
just a dad.
I'm just
deal.
like, it's instilled in my like you waste food, you waste money.
Yep.
Right. So
Absolutely.
like you don't waste food, right? So yeah, no, 100%.
Well, and we started copying you with because I never did this, and I don't know if I just
with
never
the
used
stuffed
it again.
animal thing. Hey,
No, you're no, I'm gonna do that with Declan. But the like you have a tomato and onion in your fridge, and you shave off what you need, you put it back. I never did that, so it was like I used one, and the other half just sat on the counter until it got old, and I threw it in the garbage. Every time. And now like I have a bag specifically for like if I shave off a pepper, shave off some onions, shave up, because I'm never eating it all at the same time anyway.
I caught you today when you're cutting the onion, and I was just like, stop right there. Like there's way more than enough onion.
Yeah.
You know, you put the rest back. We're not gonna use it all, right?
But
Save
I was
it.
just gonna chop it all up.
I know you were. I caught you.
And that's what I mean. I chop all of it up, and then I have just a bag of this. And then when you chop onions and stuff like that, like mushrooms, they off gas, so then they just spoil faster.
Yep.
So it's like, no, just keep that onion, And I haven't purchased any of those silicone things.
Oh,
like,
I have
save
seen
them.
those. Those are nice.
But like, like those things, like just make that onion. And so that's what I do now for the meal prepping. I'm planning it where I'll have my one because I really like red onion. So I'll have one red onion for like the week. So like, all right, this is the one I started this week, and so everything I make that I need onion comes off this onion.
Well, that's the other thing too. The reason I do save it like that is because we'd buy onions, right, and then we go through them so quickly, right? But like I would do that. I'd cut it up and then leave the cut up on the counter, and then tomorrow throw it away. So like, but I'm like, I use onions every day, so let me just like I can use one onion a day. So like when I tell Brienne like, hey, pick up onions. She'll be like, oh, I'm like, you don't need a full bag. Just grab 2 onions. Like, that'll last us until we go shopping next week.
And that's the
whatever
other
it
thing
is
planning out that, like, I would go to Costco every week like I'm going to be in the middle of Montana wilderness living for the next year and a half. So we're stocking up on fucking all the meat you can, everything that's going to go bad or whatever.
Yep.
And then it gets to the point where I don't do anything with it. And then I'm throwing away $50 to $60 worth of food.
Yeah, that's always
in like
that's
2
the hard
weeks.
part,
I'm
too.
like, God damn it, I'm stupid.
I've gotten really good at like freezing, especially if we'll buy the
Yes.
stuff from Costco. So Brienne bought these pork chops, and I swear to God, these things were 3 inches thick.
Yeah,
I'm not, dude, they were so thick. I was like, I can't cook this in my cast iron.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. I had to cut them in half. Like all of them in half, and then I froze. Like I'm like, okay, how are we gonna eat these? We'll probably have 4 each. So then because there were 9, so then I took 4 halves. I froze 1 bag of 4, 1 bag of 4, and then so when I'm ready to eat them, I just thaw a bag of 4, and then I cooked the rest of them for me, my mom, my brother, everyone who was here. And my mom was like, "Wow, these are really good." I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I've been practicing, but no,
Mama T.
like I said, that was a big thing. Like I'm cooking at home. Like, we're not gonna eat out as much.
Yes.
But yeah. Back to your point there. It was clean your plate. You don't waste food. You waste money. And there were 4 kids growing up on a single income.
And you're doing what you can.
Right.
I mean, that's the hardest. You're doing what you can, and it's just I get it. Trust me, like life is busy. Yes, but you can just go, no, that's okay. And I think what's really helped is like Mel has never had any of my vices or any. She's always been relatively fit, so like she's never just had a fat face or like really like hated
No,
you know
even
life
after,
or
like-
any of that stuff. And you're like,
not trying to be weird, but even after she had the baby, she
Mhm.
she thinned right back up.
what
like,
the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no, but you know what I'm saying?
No,
Like
I-
she was.
Yeah, people
Boom,
people
you know?
say that a lot, and I mean, we've been out, and she's like, what was it one of my
Jake's
friends?
like, I
one of-
noticed
No,
it.
one of my friends was like, she's like, oh look at it, and your body just bounces back. What a fucking bitch. Like just you know, like to her face, but it's all in love. They're really good friends of ours. But I'm like, yeah, I mean, she gets those comments and stuff, and I'm like, that's great, but I'm still like, I graduated at 155, and I'm still 205, 210, walking up that hill. I'm still sweating and I can't breathe. And so, like, I feel like a piece of shit. Like, oh, you're just the same. You know, like, so, and yeah, I mean, she gets that, but like, getting her on board with like the saving and stuff. I mean, this morning she woke up randomly. She made butter,
How do you make butter?
heavy cream. You can shake it in a
You
jar,
sit in
or
this-
like you can have a machine. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
That's
So she
Good
did that.
for
So
her.
she did that this morning. Made butter, and then she's like, "What can I do with this
Yo,
butter?"
good
and
for
butter?
you.
Yeah, right. She's like, "What can I do with the butter and buttermilk?" She goes, "Well, I can make muffins," because she found a recipe that calls for them. So then this morning she's just making muffins, and then she's not the best. She gets really hard on herself for cooking.
I mean, you got to
So-
start somewhere though. Like that's. I, think
I know,
the
but
biggest
she
thing.
doesn't like that. She's
We
like,
gotta-
"Fuck this shit." And so
we
I go,
should-
"This is your New Year's resolution. You need to stop quitting. That's your thing. You
Yeah,
need to stop fucking
100%.
quitting. The second you go, oh fuck this shit, nope. Saddle back up,
Listen,
get back on the
you're
horse,
not
and do
Gordon
it."
Ramsay.
You
You
know,
probably never will
Well,
be.
so she put all the stuff in. So right away, she puts the stuff, and she had like buttermilk, milk, and sugar or brown sugar. And she's just, and it said, I go, "What does it say?" She's like, "Whisk it till it's fluffy." And I'm like, "All right." So I turned on the KitchenAid. You know, does a lot of the work for you. It's going, and it's just like this fucking clumpy mess. And I'm like,
It wasn't getting.
that's
fluffy.
not getting fluffy. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I pull up the thing that she's reading off of, and it says, put the regular sugar, butter, and brown sugar. That was it. The 3 ingredients. She had
Milk.
she had 2 of the ingredients plus 2 other ones.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "What the fuck am I doing?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I don't even have the right ingredients in it." And I'm like, "Yeah, it just says, it tells you what to do. I don't know why. Why can't you follow these directions?" I mean, if anything, it's a kid who has like ADHD. Like, if you told me like this is how you do it, and it's not something I've never done, you have my hyper focus to the letter. Like, I will dissect every single word of that thing to make sure I don't fuck it up. It's like following Legos or something. You're like,
Yes.
nope, if I turn it so it looks exactly like the picture, so I don't screw it up. But she doesn't do that. So she's just like throwing shit in the thing. I'm like, okay. And then I told her, like, stop quitting. Fucking knock it off. Stand right there. Hold on.
figure
And I
out
went to
some
the
muffins.
garbage, threw all that shit away, wiped out the thing, put it back. I go, "What are we doing?" She's like, "Butter, sugar, brown sugar." I said, "Sounds good." So we put it in there. Well, sure enough, got all light and fluffy. Had the right ingredients. Looked
Well, I was
great.
gonna say you shouldn't have thrown it away. You should have just taken that, and then you could have like taken
Dude, it
that
was-
mixture and like been like, "Hey, I'm gonna make a little
Dude,
something for me now."
No, it was
It was
garbage.
bad.
It looked bad.
That sucks.
So then we get all this stuff together, you know, and I'm like showing her, because I've made muffins a few times. I hate baking, but I've made it a few times.
yeah.
So we get to the right consistency, and she's like, "Oh, you know what'd be cool in this? Like a banana." I go, "Fucking throw it in." She's like, "You can do that?" I'm like, "You can do whatever you want."
yeah,
we're just making shit. We don't know.
yeah, the
So-
cooking police are gonna. You
Yeah, I know.
can't do it."
Yeah, Gordon's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" So then she went over. I go, "Well, it's got to be an overripe one though. You need like, you know, whatever." She goes, "Oh, we have those." Pulls it out of this weird drawer, but I mean, they're not too far gone. They look
Was
alright.
it the color of the microphone?
It was, yeah, it's pretty beat up. And so like she puts it in a bag, like messes up, throws it in. I'm like, sure. So then we threw flour, whatever, and it actually looked like a batter. I went and scooped it. Well, then we didn't. She needed vanilla and yogurt, or she needed sour cream, but we were gonna use yogurt, and we didn't have either of those things. But we have vanilla yogurt, and I was like,
Two birds with one
two birds,
stone.
man.
Hell
So
yeah.
we threw that in there. We threw the banana. We do all this stuff, and then I took that one lick. I go, "That tastes like fucking batter." And then she looks at me. She goes, "Can you eat it?" I go, "It's fucking dough. It's fine." She goes, "Raw egg in it." I go, "I've been eating cookie dough for the last 35 years, and I
Literally,
never got sick once."
100%.
So I
Never.
I was like, "It's fine."
And knock on
So
wood
she
just in
just-
case, but
She
I
just like, just a little bit. She goes, "It tastes okay." I'm like, "All right." So she puts
I
it
can
in the
see her doing that
tins.
too, just
Yeah.
like the smallest dab.
Dude, then she put it in the tins, and of course, and that's another thing with
didn't
like
put the-
baking. You got to know the right. So she put them like we have a little muffin tin, so they're like, you know, make like the little ones you can buy. or we had like a bigger muffin tin. Well, she filled all the little ones and then had extra. So then she grabbed the big ones and put those in. But then she puts them both in at the same time. I'm like, okay. But keep in mind, they're not going to finish at the same time.
Yeah,
Because we have smaller ones and
well,
bigger ones.
Yeah, the
So
smaller
she
ones
took
are
the
gonna
little
finish
ones we took
first.
out, and then I just was like watching it, and then left the big ones in. Had them this morning. Dude, they fucking taste like muffins. They were great.
Dude, good job
They're
making
great.
muffins, dude.
Absolutely, man. I did a great job. Thank you. I took full credit. But no, I mean, it's those kind of things that I tell her to stop quitting.
Right.
Stop quitting.
100%.
Just I don't, because it's negativity. It's
Oh,
like
yes.
why would you ever think? And I've told her this. I've told my kids this. I tell my siblings this. Everybody. In what world would you think? How arrogant are you that you would try something you've never done before, and you're not good at it, and you're mad about that? What? Why
Makes
would you
sense.
expect to be good at something you've never done?
Makes sense.
That's the dumbest thing. I don't understand people that do that. If just, oh, that sucked. I fucking screwed this up. Well, I'm gonna try it again, and maybe I do it a little bit better. And that's
Yeah, but
all
not
it is.
everybody thinks like that, though.
I know,
You
but
what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
understand. Like I've
not
met several
everybody-
people that do that. They're like, well,
What-
this is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever done.
Because people
You've
don't
never
they
done
don't
it.
come in with like an open mind, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's-
So like
yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Is like I get kind of
pisses me
switching gears here, right?
Sure.
So going to New Year's resolutions, right? That's kind of one of my big things. Is I want to be like more open minded, right? To like trying things and not like getting frustrated at
Sure.
the things I know,
Yeah.
you know, and like if it doesn't work out, even though I know how to do it, if it doesn't work out, like meh, all right, that's fine,
Yeah.
you know. So no, that's a lot of people aren't like that though, you
Yeah.
know, and that's hard. To,
Well, and we've talked about it on last year, I think, in a podcast where we did the painting thing where Mel tried painting and it was like terrible. But I mean,
Threw it in
that's
the
just how she. That's how she
Yeah.
usually is. It's like you can't quit at every turn. You
Right.
gotta stop that. So let's just who cares? And we have plenty of flour, and we could make
dude, it's
45 batches of muffins.
I,
It's fine.
I
Like,
ran
we'll
out
be
of
all right.
flour, but we had a like 10-pound bag of pancake mix. So everything I've been doing has been
Dude,
pancake mix. So like I
that's
did,
gotta taste.
I did
so much
chicken
better.
nuggets. I did chicken nuggets. I'll like home fry my own
Yeah.
chicken nuggets, and I was like, "Oh shoot, we're out of flour." And I was like, "Well, we got 10 pounds
Dude.
of pancake batter." So I was like, "I mean, what's the real difference, really? Like what?"
Calories.
Yeah,
and, sugar.
yeah,
and,
yeah. So anyway, so I did it, dude. Like, holy
It
crap!
probably tasted
dude. It was
amazing.
so good,
Oh, absolutely.
so good.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so we were, But I mean, like, yeah, you just got to know, like, I can substitute that. Like, that's not gonna
Yes,
hurt anything. You know?
exactly.
Try something out.
And-
They did come
and
out.
If you're off a little, I mean, they're still gonna turn out.
They
They're gonna be-
did turn out like darker than like
Yeah.
the regular chicken because the pancake batter is Golden's
Yep.
like better I think than the flour that the normal flour. Like
Sure.
obviously you're gonna have like a lighter kind
Mhm.
of crunch, and this was more of a like a thicker but darker
Yeah.
crunch because it's heavier, you know. But it turned out really good.
So at the bottom of the muffins, the part that was in like the tin part, that was like it was like you just described like like they were like perfect mounds. Like it turned out really nice, but they were perfect mounds of like the little beige with
Mhm.
chocolate chips sticking through, and then you took them out, and then like the bottom was like brown, you know. And Jackson takes one, tips it upside down, he bites it, he goes, "Dad, if you eat it from the underneath here on the chocolate, it tastes really good." And I looked at her, I'm like, "That's not chocolate, that's just burnt muffin." But like, but he thought because it was a
But I was
different
gonna say,
color,
don't
he's like,
tell-
"This
don't
other
tell him
color was
that.
amazing."
Don't tell him because then he'll be like,
Yeah.
I don't even like
Yeah, I
it.
know.
I tried it.
God.
Like when he came over for my birthday, you want cake? Yeah, actually, I tried cake when I was 3, and I remember I don't like it. It's like, what?
He does that all the time. He's
I
like,
just
remember
looked at it, I
a
was
couple
like,
years ago when I
what are
was
you-
like talking to Declan, I'm like, he's 3 months old. No, that didn't happen. He's like, no, it did. So it did.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
And then like I'm arguing with a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. I don't give a shit.
Jesus. Yeah,
on.
dude. No. But
But
no, we were
anyway.
talking about New Year's resolutions,
Yes.
right? So yeah. So that's long-winded. This is kind of what we've been doing, right, to make ourselves better. I got a couple, right? Like New Year's resolutions that I've been thinking about. I'm mad at myself because I was like, I'm gonna write them down. I'm gonna have it to read.
Hey, so did I.
Here, let me pull out this paper here. For those listening, there's no paper.
Yeah.
So there's just a couple. I mean, I'll just throw out there like that. I know. One of my New Year's resolutions this year is to make partner on Twitch. It's a kind of a big deal. You got to average like 75 viewers. You got to stream for X amount of hours, X amount of days, kind of thing
Okay.
like that. So per month. So it's like every like 30 days you have to stream like 25 days or something. I don't remember what it is. And then you have to stream X amount of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like within, and then it just kind of like every month kind of just resets. So as long as you keep streaming here, that number won't,
Okay.
increase. But the big thing is the viewership. So if you guys are listening to the podcast,
Absolutely.
make sure you guys are getting on Twitch. Go check it out, MIDI80, just on Twitch, same as my name here in the podcast.
Heck yeah.
But on Twitch. But yeah, so that's one of my big goals. I really want to push for partner. it's just kind of hard because a lot of people know me as like a Madden streamer, right? So when I
Sure.
play those other games, I know my numbers drop. But like, for example, I was playing a game the other day and I had like 2 or 3 people watching. The second I switched over to Madden, the number just boop,
Yeah.
right back up, and you're like, dang it. So like it sucks, but at the same time, it's like it's okay.
Yeah.
So really want to do that. So with that, right? So big thing for me is like it's cool to say I want to do something, but I need to break it down as to like how we're gonna do it, right? So I'm gonna start being more active on like YouTube. Gonna start being more active on like my social media posts, like with TikTok, things like that, just to help like bring awareness and attention to the people who might not know. So that's one of my big things. I want to by the end of the year push for partner. I think it's doable. It's doable if you do it right. So so that's probably one of my big goals. Another goal, like fitness goals, right? I want to, like I said, eating better. And it's kind of like subjective, I guess you could say, but I mean, depending on how you look at it. But like eating better than I have been, more home cooked meals, more like of the right stuff, not
Probably
garbage.
put that pancake batter back on the fucking shelf and get some regular
I mean, it's
flour.
on the shelf, dude. It's still, you can tell. I mean, we've only got about a pound left, so I'm totally kidding.
You know what works great? Ice cream.
But no, cutting out like the bad stuff, like not drinking as much plays into that, eating better, working out more, utilizing, I got all this weight equipment. Let's utilize it more. So, my goal is with that. So I'm working out probably like 4 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week, depending on what it is. I like to do a Monday through Friday thing. Now with that, I was actually going to start streaming. I was thinking about streaming in the morning, like Mondays and Fridays, like workouts. Right.
Oh, okay.
So just like my hour workout, and
Sure.
just an hour. And then the big thing with that, then it keeps me accountable, right? For when Ollie's at school and instead of me just sitting on the couch, drinking a cup of coffee, scrolling on TikTok, I can be down here live streaming from my phone or whatever it is, working out, hitting the weights, riding the bike for 30 minutes, whatever it is, So just interacting, it definitely helps the time go by quicker when you're with someone.
Absolutely.
So that's something that we're going to do, which also helps promote that partner push. We got the 2 days we're working out. People know that they can pop in, say, hey, whatever, talk trash. It's great. I love it.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's those were some I was looking at doing. The other thing, and this is kind of like a little bit ambiguous, but to be like a better like husband and for my wife and like a better father for my kids, right? And in that, I mean like give more time to my kids, right? Like I feel like sometimes I could do a little bit better with it. I know you do that, but like there are times where it's like, a stay-at-home dad. I get it.
You're home
but like
all day.
I get that.
All
but
day.
I
And
mean,
you just said you're going to put more time to streaming. You're home all day.
great.
Your kids have enough time with you.
No, there are times where I just feel guilty. I feel like I don't give them enough, and I don't want to feel like that. So I want to give them that time, right? Give my wife that time, and
Sure.
like not only spend more time with my wife, but like communicate better with her. I think that's a big thing. Like I got a really bad habit from my dad, where I just like if we're doing something, I just expect you to know what I'm thinking and where I want to go with it, as opposed to just being like, hey, turn it to the left a little lift. It's just like,
Sure.
how come you didn't know to just do that? So like for me, like communication, being a lot better about being like, hey, like instead of expecting her to know that I need help with something and then me just letting it build and get mad, finally, just turn and blowing up, just turn around and be like, hey, can you just help me knock this out? Or, hey, I need help getting this done. So like I think those are just some of those goals, some of those like personal things that I want to work on,
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I just think that communication one is a big one for me too, because like I said, I just expect her to know why I'm upset or frustrated, or without having ever said, I just need help with this, or, then I make these passive aggressive comments like, don't worry, I'll just do it all myself. It's like, yo, where'd that come from?
We know where it came from.
Yeah. But
you
yeah,
know
what I'm
it's,
saying? Like,
I mean,
for me,
I
that's
get that. Yeah. I think I'm on the other side of that. Like for us, where it's like, I just want, it's more the same kind of thing where I don't have that as like a goal this year. I mean, Mel and I have definitely talked about communication. It's a two-way street. We need we need to be on the same page. Like I told her when I dated her, I'm not the guy that's going to be like, are you okay? And you go, oh, I'm fine. If you tell me you're fine, I'm going to go, sounds good. Get in the fucking car. Let's go. Like I'm not going to sit there and waste half my day questioning what's going on in your brain or whatever.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like, just because, like you said, the Christmas gift thing. It's like, if I'm mad, I just look at her and go, I'm really mad right now. Not at you. I'm just mad. So if I could just get some time, it'd be fine. And I just walk away and I go in the room. I told her I've been like the easiest person to handle because I know what my head does. I know what my emotions do. I know what can get me. And I'm able to just say, hey, just so you know, this is happening right now. Just back up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get caught in it. Just back up. And then I do it within 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm fine. And we move back on. And she's been really good at that.
Mhm.
But it's the other side of it is the speaking about it. And that's where
Yeah.
it's like, we'll sit there and she's like, that's fine. I go, that is not a normal response to, I'm good, let's go. What are you thinking? And she goes, well, I just kind of, really was thinking, never mind.
Never mind
That-
is that.
I'm
pisses
sorry,
me off
that
more than
I will
anything.
send your head through the fucking roof.
Never
if you
mind
do
is
that.
my.
No, if you start talking and go, you know what would be a great idea? I was thinking that, you know what? Nah, never mind. That's fine.
No, I get it.
That?
100%.
You want to talk about trigger? That's a trigger. I'll throw you right
Dude,
out the window.
Never. I'm telling you, never mind that word
That
right
stuff-
there.
oh my
like
God,
if
the
Brienne's
never
telling me
mind.
something, and then
Hate it.
if I don't hear it right, because I'm not gonna lie, like I probably don't have the best hearing in the world, but like I feel like she mumbles
Normal.
when she talks.
You
You
have
know,
normal hearing.
it's what selective hearing,
Mhm.
right? I just pick and choose what I want to hear. But
Sure.
But I feel like she mumbles a lot too. So like, she'll say something, and I'm like, what?
Mhm.
And she'll be like, it's like, what? Never mind. It's like, it doesn't matter. No, it matters to me. Now I'm pissed. What did you just say?
Exactly.
And she's like, oh, I just said Mavis looks cute
And then
in his hat. Yep.
then they keep going. No, you're like, I just want to know what did you say? And
Like,
you're like,
it
never
doesn't
mind, it's
matter.
not a
It
big deal.
doesn't matter.
It
It doesn't, yeah.
doesn't matter. Why are we doing this? Stop.
Yeah,
Why
just
does it
tell me.
matter?
Just
tell
repeat yourself. Look me in the eyes. Repeat yourself. No, 100%. 100%.
It's like, just don't.
No.
Just
No, and then it turns up to be just like, I just said Mavis looked cute like in this hat.
Mhm.
Then why don't you just say that when
Yeah.
I agree. Yes, what a cute baby. And then we move on. And that's it. That's all I want to know,
That's it. I don't,
But yeah. No, like my communication, and like I said, or kind of like you said, I'm not going to be there like, are you okay? Like, no, like that, not that. But like I said, my communication is like more just from my perspective. Like, let her know when something's bothering me versus bottling it up. Because I'm just one of those, I don't wear my heart on my sleeve a lot, and I just, it's like I said, like my dad, like I just expect you to know what I want, what I need in certain situations. Obviously, not all the time. Like there'll be times like, hey, we need, eggs. She doesn't know we need eggs, but if I, not
Yeah.
like that. But like, in if we're doing something, or if I need help with something, or if something that she's doing is bothering me, instead of just bottling it, and then exploding one day and being pissed for a month about it, just like telling her, hey, this is bugging me. So that, like I said, that's more of a personal goal for me, is just to
I've said sorry more.
communicate.
I've definitely said sorry. Like if I, like the other day we were getting her out the door and fucking nothing was. Mel usually lays all this stuff out for the kids, gets everything done and ready. None of it was where it's supposed to be. So then, for me, it's like if I don't see it, it's not there. I do have that object permanence a little bit. That's why like shit's all messy because I can't. You tuck something in the back of the fridge, it's gone. It's gone forever. It's a fucking Narnia. It's gone. It's gone.
That's
Okay.
why we have 3 jars of mustard.
Yeah, absolutely. No, dude, I pulled out 4. No shit. I cleaned out the fridge yesterday. I pulled out 4 jars of fucking marinara sauce. 1 not open, 3 of them opened, all at varying levels. I'm like, we got to figure this out, guys. This is fucking bullshit. So I changed all the drawers so now I can see everything. It's like you have to do that. And,
Yes,
and that's just how I am.
100%.
And I'm like losing my fucking mind. I can't find it, whatever. And then Declan needed to be suctioned or whatever. So she's like, grab the suck stuff. And I'm like, all right, where the fuck is it?
It's
over
the nose Frida
And I
for you
was
guys
going,
wondering.
It's a
that.
nose Frida.
Yeah,
it's
he's not.
it's,
yes.
I don't do it. She
Nope,
does it,
I'll
but
throw up. But anyway,
it's. I mean, it's not that. It's just.
No,
I
will.
feel like I'm breathing all the
dude,
air of my
just
child.
thinking about it. I just.
Like I can
like
do
that-
that. It's got a
the-
filter. It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Dude.
No, for me, it's the kid just goes.
Yeah.
And it's not breathing, so then that scares the shit out of me. But no, and then like I answer and I go, and I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Like just because I'm like trying to find it. They're screaming, they're fighting, kids are fighting, doing all this shit. I'm like, she's like, never mind. And I go, that's what I fucking thought. And I put it in there, and like I was just so ramped up because of how stupid it was, and I'm running late, doing all these things, and then I finally like get in the car, and it was like 2 minutes. I was like, sorry for yelling. Like just sorry. Just
Sorry. Hey,
got the best of me.
you know what? Hey,
You know?
being able to like admit your faults and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's big, dude.
I know,
Because
and
again,
that's-
there's another thing a lot of people just can't do.
No,
You know,
and they
can't
think,
admit
like,
when you're
they
wrong.
think apologizing. It's like, listen, because I think about this often too with my wife. Is like, listen, you guys just found, if you have a spouse or a partner or whoever, you are two people that were born in completely different areas that just randomly found each other, and now you are just going to live together until you die.
Yep.
So just, it's weird just to like think of it that way, but at the same time, it's like, hey, she's the only one that's going to be around, you know?
Right.
Like,
Yep.
so it's like,
An 18.
all right, I could probably cut her a little slack.
Yeah.
Like, I won't cut her as much slack. Like, I wouldn't cut you as much slack, but I'd cut. I'd
Yeah,
be
but
like,
you don't
know
have
what?
to though. I just
That's fine.
know that's what I'm saying. I just
Yeah.
know what you're thinking. I know what you.
Well,
need,
I know,
you
and that's why we're like perfect.
Wink.
But like maybe in another life, I don't know. We'll see.
Right?
But it's one of those like, you know, I think about that afterwards. Like, you know what? It's not her fault. Like that's where you got to go. It's not her fault. It's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm not again, and trust me, I'm not for like taking the blame all the time because I feel like that's false humility.
Mm-hmm.
I like people who have genuine humility. I don't like the false humility. So like humility when somebody
false
says
humidity, dude.
yeah,
It's the worst.
yeah, it ain't sweaty in here. But you know when somebody just goes, "Yep, sorry, it's my fault." Okay, yep, my fault again. My bad. You know, just neutralize the situation. Like no. If you've earned it, take it. If you didn't earn it, don't fucking do that,
Exactly.
and let's figure it out. Because I
100%.
hate it. Because that's a quitting. That's a quitting thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another quitting thing. So we've gotten a lot better at that.
Good.
Sorry, I got triggered
No,
for a little bit.
no,
But
that's
anyway, I think that's pretty cool that you guys, you know, started talking about that stuff because communication
like
for
I said,
us
that's
is,
yeah, that's
it's so key.
it's got to be good, you know. And
Half the
and I know that
fights
100%,
would exist.
100%,
Would
like
not exist.
80% of our
Oh,
of
easy.
fights, easy.
Easy.
If she would just say, "Hey, that's bugging me," or
Yeah.
if I would just say, "Hey,
Yep.
I just really need you, like this
Mhm.
space needs to be cleaned, and I need your help with." You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like it's one of those like, and if I just say that, cool.
Mhm.
But it's I don't say it, and then I just clean it.
Mhm.
And then I just clean it, and then I leave it because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna let her. I'm gonna let her clean it.
But
and
she
it
doesn't know to do
and
it
she
because
doesn't
it's
know
just
that
the
it's
same.
bugging me. She's like, oh,
Yep.
well, cool, it's clean. Oh, it's not clean today. It's not a big deal to her. Like that's not something that. But for me, it's like triggers, and I get mad.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I'm the only one who does it. I gotta fucking clean everything
Yeah.
because I never asked for help.
Yes.
I never told her that. Hey,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like a whole like self-realization thing, like a whole
Mm-hmm.
like okay, time out. And that's where I said like too, like feeling guilty of like, yeah, I'm home with my kids all day, but am I really spending time with them if I'm sitting there on the phone? You know, yeah, just go do that. I don't care.
Mhm.
Get out of here. You know, like no, like if Ollie wants to play a game, I'm gonna sit down and play a board game, play a card game with him.
Sure.
Or if
Yeah.
Mavis wants to. I'm not gonna always play dollies, but if she wants to play dollies, you know, I'll play the little baby dolls and
Oh.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Giving
Yeah.
them that time because
Sure.
I
'Cause they
don't
need it.
I don't want them to be 30 years old sitting back like, God, like we didn't do shit. Like he was
Mhm.
always just on his phone, like, you know.
Well, we
like-
talked about it. I think it said, you know, the only people that are going to remember that you work late is your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, I mean, obviously
and
stay-at-home
Brienne.
time's different, but those examples they do the same thing,
Big
you know.
big
and,
shout out to her. She said she was gonna try to be better. She's been leaving work at like 4:30 every day. She's like, nope, not doing it. Like,
That's what I mean. A little better.
and then yep,
just
a
a little
little,
better.
and that's what we're saying, guys. A little 15
better.
minutes, a little better. A little
What did you
bit
do
every
to
day.
be a little better today?
So yeah, no, she's been doing that. Shout
Yeah.
out to her. Big shout out, Brienne. She's
Hell
been
yeah.
leaving work early, like every day.
I mean, she's fucking
Spending
sleeping when we
Well,
got
she-
here. She's been fucking sleeping all
Lazy
goddamn
at-
day.
I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
No, she
Not
worked
spending
like
time with us. What the hell?
she worked until like
she could have
noon
made our
yesterday.
sandwiches. Jesus.
Yeah, right. Ah, damn it. No, she worked till noon yesterday. Came home, went to bed, and then went back in overnight.
Yeah,
and then
I
so
know.
yeah, she got home early.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but get up. No, but no. Anyways, yeah. What other New Year's resolutions are you looking to kind of change?
That's really health, big thing. The drinking, much less.
Mhm.
I did. I think I wanted to make it like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Are there going to be my days where if I choose to have something, it's going to be that.
Yep.
But not getting, honestly, not really getting drunk anymore. And it's not like, it's something to sip, couple to
Yep.
just kind of chill.
Just have
But
maybe.
I don't need to get.
Yeah. I don't
you
need to
know.
be to where I'm hungover the next day.
No, and maybe having that in my brain, maybe it was just fate that, they gave Jackson a little bit of fever because then it totally pigeonholed me to, well, now I can't drink as much. I'm not staying here till midnight.
Mhm.
I can't do all this. I got my daughter. I got to drive home. I got to do all these things. So like it really forced me to do that. And then I get home and then just kind of hung out with my wife. We played a board game that we got, and it was like Happy New Year. And then we all went to bed and everybody fell asleep. And then I woke up. I got to start the
Mhm.
first, not hungover, got a workout in. And they were like,
yeah.
well, maybe that was, something that was like, all right, let's do it. This is what you wanted. Let's do it.
Yep.
And then, like we talked about it, staying busy during the week. Because the worst thing is when you're bored. Like, getting home, making dinner when you're bored. You know what I could do right now? A beer. I could have beer right now. Oh, I could have a whiskey right now. Just relax. It's my off day. I don't need to go to the gym. Nope. Fill that fucking time with something. Go do something. Go, like you said, go do something for an hour.
I will say though, like my exception to the rule of drink is if the Cowboys are playing.
Yeah, I mean,
like if there's a football game, like Cowboys, some sporting event, some social sporting event, some social event, anything like that. Like I will have a couple beers during the Cowboys. It's just like I feel like that's just a thing. Like you have to have a couple beers when you watch football.
And like this Tuesday, we're gonna start up our D&D campaign. It's been off for a couple months, but I'm gonna have some on that night. It's Tuesday, but I'm gonna have some. But like we were saying too, and I think that when I realized like the life as a game thing. The other thing, too, is, like, listen, these people that try to plan out, people take too much time to plan the day or plan out everything to make sure it's perfect before they even start. Just fucking start. Because when it comes to, like, eating healthy, drinking less, doing all those things, you can still do those things and just take it a day at a time because we're not doing this for, like, the year and then being like, fuck it, back to donuts and whatever.
Right.
This is just how we're going to live now.
Yeah, we're going to, like, a little bit better.
Think of how much more time you have. This isn't a 6-month plan. This isn't a year plan. It's not a 5-year plan. This is the next, hopefully, 35 to 40-year plan until I go. And that's. I think people get too caught up and they're like, "Oh, I missed it today. I didn't get my calorie intake, or I didn't get to the gym today, or like you said, I took 2 days." Take the fucking 2 days. It's okay. Right. I'd rather have you be clear-headed and feel better. Don't be guilty. Feel better.
Right. Yep.
And then just get back into it.
You're right.
You're gonna have tomorrow.
And I think this is a good stopping point here too on this quote too.
Sorry.
My coach, shut up. I'm just kidding. No, my college coach used to always tell us, and it was funny because I coached with a guy in high school who, there's stroking out here. Sorry.
Yeah, told me to shut up. Jesus, can't even fucking talk.
The guy I coached with for a long time, his name is Matt Everson. He used to always say this, and so did my college coach. If you got 1% better every day. Just 1% better in 100 days, you're 100% better than you were 100 days ago, right?
Sure.
So just 1% better every day. That's all we strive for, guys. 1%.
For me being a mathematician, then what? You just stop at 100 days because that's all.
No,
you can
because
the people that say they give 110%, go fuck yourselves because you can only give 100%. So this isn't all might. This isn't doing anything.
Because here's the thing. If you're 1% better, if you're 100% better, well, that's just the new you, right? So then in 100 days, now you're 100% better than you were.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? So you build it. You build it. That's perfect. It's like, right? So I'm 1% better. Now I'm 1% better from yesterday. But on day 2, I'm 2% better from the day I started. But I'm only 1% better from yesterday.
Yes.
Right? So you'll always strive to be 1% better tomorrow.
I really like that. And that's what I was saying at the end.
So that's what I'm saying. Not 100 days. I did it. Peace.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Well, that's where I like saying, like, it ends tomorrow.
No.
Like, I'll be done tomorrow. No. I'll be done tomorrow. So then when tomorrow becomes today, you go, yeah, I'll be done tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm done tomorrow.
Yeah, because I'm only 1% better today, which is only 2% better than yesterday, then 3% better than, and you
Absolutely.
it builds. And then even when you're at 100%, well, I'm only 1% better than that 100% yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm 2%, I'm 3%,
Sure.
And so, it just builds. You're
middle.
only 1% better every day. If you get 1% better, in 100 days, you'll be 100% better at whatever you're putting your mind to. Right?
But you just keep
going. It doesn't stop at 100. It doesn't stop at 100.
Exactly. I mean, the point, I think, is that it never ends.
Right.
You're just
so,
gonna do
guys,
this forever.
like Chief here said, make life a video game and get excited to play it.
Dude,
right?
that's all it's got to be.
Cheers to that, man. Cheers to that.
Man.
But let us know what you guys' New Year's resolutions are in the chat.
We're on here talking about life goals, and who knows? Maybe next week we're all done with it.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No. Guys, I did it for like 4 days.
We're gonna keep going. Yeah.
Hopefully next week we'll have a new look for anybody watching. We got a nice sign to hang, nice 2 signs to hang. So hopefully we will get those hung. We'll have a dual camera set up by next week. Hopefully is the plan, and we'll go from there, guys. So
that was one of my Christmas gifts.
Big changes. Hell yeah. Big changes are coming.
I just want to put this out there. I thought, what better way to do it is than on my podcast?
No, just kidding.
no, it's nothing you know. So I have one of my old bosses, mentors from the dealership I used to work at. very positive guy. Was in the auto industry for like 20 years, and they called him the Velvet Hammer. He's very good with his words. He's very good at like really picking you up, like working through problems. He did a lot of the training processes and stuff to like sales and stuff. And you got to be good at like objection. You got to be good with dealing with just anything that could life throw at you, and he can just do it. And he's one of the very few people that I've actually looked and I said, you know what, you're just a genuinely like good person. Like when you can look through all the bullshit of everybody goes through stuff, he's just a genuinely good person. Well, he when he left shortly before I did that dealership. I work at a different one now, but he left and he actually took a little time off, and then he ended up going into it's not what is it? It's like consulting kind of, where like, you know, he's really a motivator, really like gets people to like, you know, strive for goals, and he kind of gives you like those peps and stuff and like things he always did for me every day. He was his birthday the other day, and I reached out to him, and he was like talking about how his plan is to be on 10 podcasts in the next year. And so he posted one. He was on, you know, a guy's podcast. I can't remember what it was. I'd give him a shout out, but yeah, he was zooming in on that one, you know, and I was like, hey, that's awesome. You know, we got goals too, and it's about season betterment, and it's kind of in the wheelhouse of what he does and really kind of motivates people. And I'm like, we have a podcast, you know, and he's like, well, fucking send me the link. Let's look at it, you know, and he was doing that. And he goes, hey, man, I mean, our stuff kind of aligns, so maybe at someday, maybe, you know, you zoom me into your thing. And I'm like, we don't know how to do that yet, but that'd be amazing.
We'll figure it out.
You know, because he lives in town here too, like in the city. So like, I mean, he could easily swing over too. But he's like, hey man, you know, it kind of lines up with like what he does now, and like what he's very good at is, and he's like excelled immensely over there. And it's obvious that's what he was going to do, you know, with life. Yeah. And so he just is like, hey, that's awesome, because that's really coincidental of what we're doing. And yeah, so it was really cool. So I mean,
that's awesome.
That's something, you know,
maybe
we
guest
talked
star.
About potentially bringing in a guest star or something for a little bit, have him come in and just weigh in on stuff. And he's a dad; he's got 3 boys, and you know, I mean, they're all grown now and stuff. But like, yeah, man, he's been through some shit, and
sweet.
It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we'll have to look at getting some guest stars on here. I know that's something we want to do too. So
yeah,
but yeah, guys,
hey,
I love it. Let's do it.
Hey,
big shout out, Victorious POD.
Yep.
You know, my buddy Jack and the Game Boys.
Heck yeah.
With a Z, not and spaced out, not like Nintendo.
No. Yes.
You know,
completely different.
Yeah,
it's completely
100%.
different.
Shout out 2 Bears 1 Cave.
Yep.
Joe Rogan Experience.
I was gonna say, speaking of podcasts as well, so Chad Daniels, another comedian of mine that I've been a huge fan of for many years. Him and his, I believe it's his girlfriend. I don't know if they're engaged yet or his girlfriend. They have a podcast called Pretend Problems, and exactly what we were talking about today. Him and his girlfriend, they live together now. He actually lives in Minnesota. He lives like north a little bit. I don't know where, but they just bought a house, and it's just them talking about relationship things, and their whole thing is pretend problems. And what we talked about earlier about how like 80% of the problems that we talk about could be taken care of with our wives.
100%.
They work through that, and they're both comedians, and so they're very funny to listen to, like the back and forths and stuff. And he's just a funny guy, so check it out. Pretend Problems.
Hey, there we go. Hey, there we go. There's the shout out.
Absolutely.
Other than that,
Joe Rogan. Can't forget Joe Rogan. Come on.
I said Joe Rogan.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Because I want to, like I said, I want to compile like all like 4 years of this,
and then just
every single episode is like Joe Rogan. Shout out Joe Rogan.
Shout out
like
Joe
the
Rogan.
Jimmy Kimmel thing, but
yeah.
like opposite, where like we want him to be on it. You know?
Yeah, right.
And then eventually he will, maybe.
We'll do it. But all right, guys.
Anyway.
Other than that, we got some football games to watch. So
yes, go Pack Go.
Go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys?
We're not playing each other, so it's fair.
Till next week.
Till next week, yeah.
Hey, as long as we win, right?
And then we're gonna.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Peace.